churches do it, groups do it. It happens. And Jesus comes along and says, all of you on the list, the entire list, come in and we'll burn away all that stuff that keeps you separated from one another. All of that stuff that makes you even think that you have the right to create your own list that comes in. Right? Because here's the hard part. And this is why I think that the fire analogy in the scripture is important. Right? Fire is cleansing. It's cleansing. It's also painful. Burns are awful. You all had one or two, right? Somebody has been cooking something in here and got ouch. Right? But it's also cleansing. So when God comes into our lives, or we allow God into our lives, and God says, let's start taking away some of this stuff that's separating you from me. Whether it's physical stuff, or emotional stuff, or attitudinal stuff, whatever the stuff is that's keeping you from each other and from God. That can be painful. Because we hold on to those things. We're like, no, anything but that. I need that. I need that teddy bear for comfort. I need that club. I need that drink. I need that relationship. I need that food. Whatever that is, right? I need this so that I have that security blanket. Well, that security blanket sometimes is a way of putting something over your head so that you don't see what's out there in the real world. We were all kids and we all put the covers over our heads. And we could pretend that if I didn't see it, it didn't exist. Right? Like the monster wasn't going to get you. Right? And Jesus says, no, even that. You got to get rid of whatever that is so that I can really be present with you. And that can be hard. That can be hard. Because sometimes we have incorporated those things, whatever those things are, so deeply into our lives that they've almost become a part of us. But if it's something that's keeping you away from God, if it's something that's keeping that shell built around you, then it's got to go. And we all wish it was that slow process with the baby shampoo and the water and that grass seed. But sometimes it doesn't work. And it has to be burned away. But here's the cool thing. When that's done, when that process of burning away that chaff is done, and you are naked and exposed to God, once you get past that moment, because we have it, once we get past that, you get to experience the most deep, the most profound, the most fulfilling relationship that you can imagine. And the cool thing is, once we do that, and once we've figured out we can kind of trust God, we start to see people in a different way too. And we stop wanting to strike them off the list and go, you know, this was such a cool experience that I had in getting to know God and letting God get to know me. Maybe it would change their life too. And it will. So we get to invite other people into the fire with us. Because it's an ongoing process, because, you know, we have this tendency to, woo, got it burned away, I'm all good now. That looks really cool. I'll pick that up now, right? Because we have that desire thing built in, right? But when we step into the fire, and here's the cool thing, is once you've been through that initial process of God burning away all that extra stuff in your life, not only is it less painful the next time, in a strange sort of way you start to look forward to it. Because you reassess your life occasionally and you go, you know, it was better when God was in charge. I think I'll try that again. And it really comes down to trusting God to do that. To trusting God to know, what is it in my life that needs to go? What is it in my life that's a barrier to me that I might not even see as a barrier? Trusting God to do that. Now here's the thing. We have such a hard time trusting God, and that is so weird. Because let's think about this for a minute. Who was God? let's see, created the universe, created you, gave you everything you have, including the breath that you take every day and every moment. But can we trust God? And often we say no. Often we say no, we can't trust God because, I don't know, God's going to do what? Uncreate us? All of the universe? This God who has promised good things to you, who has created history to show you God's intent toward good for you. And we go, I don't know if I can trust God. You know, I mean, God's kind of like helped me survive to whatever age I am. Has given me good things in my life, has put me in a place to be able to pick up and move on if I need to change something. But I don't trust things, you know, where's the other shoe? Don't we do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we end up with all that chaff in our lives anyway. Because we don't trust God just to let us survive. Maybe we do. We're in that safety blanket over there. So take the safety blanket off. Risk trusting God just for a day. And if you do that, day 2 is easier. And if you do that, day 3 is even easier. And if you do that, week 2 and 3 and 4 is easier. And before you know it, you're just hanging out with God, realizing how cool God is, and letting God actually take care of you. And that becomes an amazing thing. And when you do that, when you get rid of that chaff in your life that's preventing you from a relationship with God, and you start to open up to the people around you as well, your life transforms. And you cannot, when that happens, you cannot keep from loving the people with that. You just can't. For one thing, they're going to see it on you. They're going to look at you and go, they got something. There's something about them. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I kind of want it. And you'll have people come to you and ask, what's going on with you? You seem different. What's going on with you? You seem like such in a better place. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. It can't not happen. And if you don't believe me, try it. Try it for 1 month, 30 days of trusting God. We're all willing to go to the gym. We're all willing to do the New Year's resolution about diets. Or whatever that is in our life, right? Try God for 30 days. I'm not even going to charge you $19.95. I'm not even going to say, but wait, there's more, even though there is. Try God. Try trusting God for 30 days and see what happens in your life. Let God burn away the chaff that keeps you from yourself, your true self, and let your life be transformed. Amen.
Amen.